All right, guys, we're back working on the junkyard jet boat. To catch you up, my friends and I are building this 1977 Hawaiian jet boat. We're not restoring it. We're just trying to get it running good enough that we can do this poker run out on our lake. It's a multi-stop event, and it could be up to 100 miles long, so it's more of an endurance kind of thing. We've still got 4 months to go, so we're not in a panic mode yet, but we've got to get some work done. So we've got the engine sat inside the boat. Today, we're just going to focus on the exhaust. So last time, we got these exhaust adapters built, and that lets us put an oxygen sensor in the exhaust stream. Now we've got to get the rest of the exhaust built that goes to the back of the boat. And that's where the fun begins, because it's all stainless steel. I've never TIG welded stainless before, so this should be fun for all of us. So here's what we're gonna try to do today. If you look at that animation that I drew a couple videos ago, from this exhaust adapter, above it, we've got a stainless steel plate, and then we've got our water jacketed exhaust that goes all the way to the back of the boat. And that's what we're gonna try and finish today. By the end of today, I wanna have these exhaust tips sticking out of the back of the boat with water coming out of them, and the whole exhaust done. We'll hook a hose up to it. That'll be our final test. Okay, so here's the general idea. I've got these two pieces of 316L stainless, which is supposed to be good for corrosion. I've already cut that in half with the plasma cutter, so that was fun. It's 1/2 inch thick, and that's gonna go on top here. We're gonna have to throw this in the CNC router, get this flat on both sides, because we have to have a gasket seal here. Then we've got to cut a 3-inch hole in here somehow. And then we've got to weld our 3-inch and 4-inch off of that hole to the back of the boat to these tips. The reason I'm the most worried about this, I think, out of all the stuff we're putting in the boat, is if any of the welds in here break, we're basically force feeding water into the exhaust, down into the engine, basically ruin the engine at that point. I'll pop up the prices for the pre-built exhaust systems, and you'll see exactly why we're gonna try and do this ourselves, because I can't afford that, none of us can. First, we're gonna throw these pieces into the CNC router, and I drew up a program to just basically mill this down flat. This machine's not meant to cut in metal, much less stainless steel, so I'm not sure how it's gonna do. I've got a milk jug full of water. We're gonna spray coolant at it to keep the bit cool. Okay, kick the router on, hit the old start button. Here we go. See what happens. Check this out, it's going through its first pass. I haven't kicked the coolant on yet. You can see just how out of shape this plate is. So it's hitting the first pass on the back and kind of a little bit of this front area. The rest is below the cutter. Cutter hasn't even touched it yet, so. All right, it's starting to dig into its second pass now. It's starting to make a little bit of noise, so we're gonna go ahead and kick the coolant on here, so we don't incinerate these bits. And it should start getting some water flowing. Let's see. There it goes. Okay, first side of the first piece is done. Let's see, we're gonna take 30 thousandths off. I'm gonna go ahead and run the program to cut the 3-inch hole, because if we can't cut that 3-inch hole with this, the only other option is really a plasma cutter. There's no way we're gonna be able to jigsaw through this stainless, so we're gonna be in trouble, I think, if this doesn't work. I don't have high hopes for this thing, guys. It's going Mach Jesus, like 20,000 RPM. It sounds horrible. You probably can't even hear me right now. I'm tired of kidding myself. All right, I'm not sure if the time-lapse caught that, but the bit started turning bright cherry red, started chattering, burnt up the bit. Now we've got a nice little roasted area here. Bit is torched. So I've got more. Maybe I can lower the RPM some. We've made it about 1/10 of an inch through this 1/2 inch plate. So that's, it's gonna be a lot of bits if we keep going at that rate. Okay, I'm not doing well. Bit fell out, machine's still running. How did that happen? Oh. I thought I had the bit tight as it could go. Apparently not. Oh, it broke. Damn it. All right, so I broke a bit and I torched one bit. We've got 3 chances left here. All right, we broke another one. So we started at 40 feet per minute. Now we're down to 15. I guess I can keep going slower. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Okay, this might be the magic ticket. So we're 1/4 inch way through this thing so far. We're doing 15 inches per minute, but only 5/1000ths step down. So it's taken forever to cut through, but it's been running for about 30 minutes. Seems to be doing okay, so fingers crossed. I wish I cared less, but I'm afraid we were so close. Broken bit number 4. So this one, we made it 0.35 of an inch through this 0.46 thick plate. So we're like 75% of the way there. I've been taking a little air canister and blowing the chips out every so often. And I got bored and started looking at my phone and wasn't paying attention. And it built up some chips in front of it. You can see right here. And the bit broke and it pieced off somewhere into the machine. So got 1 bit left. Maybe we'll get through this plate. I'm gonna pay attention this time. Well, that was it. That was the last one. I don't really know what happened on that one. Stop program. Yeah, I didn't get enough chips out that time. Damn it. Okay, let's see how close we were. I've got the old calipers. We're at 0.393. The plate is 0.464. So, you know, another 6 or 7 hundredths of an inch and we would have made it through. I'm out of bits now, so I got on Amazon. Gonna try and prime some same day. So we'll regroup tomorrow, boys. All right, it's now tomorrow. Last night I got on Jeff Bezos' website, and then today a nice gentleman showed up, and we've got 5 more chances to get this right today. So I've got 5 more of those end mills. We're gonna get set back up, try again. So what we're gonna try now, I'm gonna run 2 air compressors. I've got a small one in the SWAT van. Let's see. There we go, yeah, a little pancake air compressor. That should work. Okay. All right, so I've got the little bitty air compressor over there. I've got that set up, little magnet here, so that'll hold that to the side. I'm gonna use that one just to blow the chips out. And then the other air compressor back there will just run the mister to keep the bit cool. That should work, right? Let's find out. I just kept thinking about that $3,000 exhaust. I really hope we don't have to spend that money, because I was thinking that's basically 750 gallons of fuel that we could put in the Jetboat, which at 3 miles to the gallon, it's like over 2,000 miles. So I'd rather spend it on fuel driving the boat around than on some exhaust. Fire in the hole. That's a good sign. That means we're almost to the bottom. Wait, we did break through. Ah! We're so close. Oh yeah, made it through the backside. Look at that. Who needs a Haas CNC when you can use a little home router, spend 2 days, $40 worth of bits for a cut that would take a Haas CNC about 5 minutes. Look at that. Yeah, finally. Now just for a second, we're gonna ignore the fact that we have to do this twice. We're gonna deburr this and just admire our 2 days worth of work. Let's see what we get. Oh yeah. I'm pretty bummed out because this exhaust adapter has been in the shop for the past few weeks. I went to go get the other one so we could work on this side because that one's been mounted on the engine out in the boat, out in the sun for the past couple weeks. Look at what I just found. So I just got up in here to pull the plastic off because it's been raining, so we didn't want water going down in here. And look at what happened. The red anodizing has faded. It's gone. It's pretty much all gone. Let me get this off. We'll go look at it in the shop. Look at this. This is the one also that was a really dark red. It was almost the color of this deburring tool here. And now it's just about gone. So I'm gonna have to set this one out in the sun, fade it out so they match. So I guess this is one of those cases you get what you pay for. That was some Amazon anodizing dye, kind of cheap. It's really the junkyard jet boat, and the one nice part we were gonna put on it now looks like crap again, so that's kind of appropriate, I guess. All right, let's go cut some holes in the back of the boat for those exhaust tips, and then we'll be able to line the rest of the tubing up to get from the engine to those exhaust tips. Here's what I was thinking. We're gonna patch these holes that were below the water line, so I've already got that sanded down there, so we're gonna fiberglass those up. I don't wanna deal with below water exhaust. And there's a little lip right here. So I was thinking maybe just right below that lip. All right, let's see if I can keep from screwing this up with this Gigantor hole saw. 4-inch Amazon special. Drop her into low gear. Oh, got it. Oh, hey, transom. Doesn't look too bad up in here. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh, perfect. All right, I think I've got this lined up enough, good enough for us at least. So got us a little mark put here so we can get this in the shop, tack it up, and try to TIG weld some stainless, so let the fun begin. Now, what we get to do is ruin both of these by starting the welding. So let's do that. Everyone says when you're welding stainless, it's good to clamp it to a block of aluminum to draw the heat away, and that will keep it from warping as much. Well, we've got a perfect block of aluminum right here. In my amateur TIG welding career, I've welded lots of steel, lots of aluminum, even silicon bronze, even copper. So the old computer for the plasma cutter here, this copper, TIG welded that together. But somehow I never made it to having to weld stainless steel until today. That looks like ass.
And what's wrong with that? Boy, oh boy, I love it when I fall for that. I'm weak. And what's wrong with that? Boy, oh boy, I love it when I fall for that. I'm weak.
Well, that was pretty fun. So I made a pass around that pipe. First time welding stainless steel. I did pretty terrible. All my welder friends are gonna be laughing at me, but it's stuck on here. So that's step one. Here's all the things I did wrong. I got too much heat in this area here. You can see it's discolored, our plate. Here's a 7/1000 feeler gauge. We're okay through here, and right where it's discolored, it makes it all the way through. So that's gonna be a problem. We're gonna have to sand that to get it flat enough for a gasket. This is too big now to put back into the CNC router. So we're gonna have to hand sand that. Next, we gotta get the 4-inch on here. So that should be something like that.
But I'm weak. And what's wrong with that? Boy, oh boy, I love it when I fall for that. I'm weak. And what's wrong with that? Boy, oh boy, I love it when I fall for that. I'm weak.
Getting a little better each time. So this one's got some actual blue color to it instead of the charred out, overheated garbage of the other one. But this one is warped way more. So I've got 15 thousandths of an inch right here. I threw a light on the other side. You could see light all the way through. So this one's gonna take hours of sanding. It's gonna be terrible.
But I give in so easily. And no thank you is how it should have gone. I should stay strong, but I'm weak. And what's wrong with that? Boy, oh boy, I love it when I fall for that. I'm weak. And what's wrong with that? Boy, oh boy, I love it when I fall for that. I'm weak.
We're getting there. They got these high spots. All right, 6 hours later with some breaks in there. Sanding is done on this one. Went through 40 yards of sandpaper to get both of these sanded out. So pretty much half of a football field, but this one ended up pretty good. This is the smallest feeler gauge I've got, 15 thousandths of an inch. Only spot I can get it under is right in here and not all the way through. And then at the corners. So surely that's good enough for a gasket seal, right? Okay, so now that this part's done, we can weld up rest of the exhaust tubing. We're gonna do the 3-inch center first. Well, since my extension cord wasn't long enough to get the welder out to the boat, I thought I'd bring the boat to the welder, and now I've got her stuck in the yard there, so now we're gonna go on a rescue mission instead of welding. See if I can get it out of the yard. Here's the bad part about this weld. This is the last time we ever get to look at it. Hopefully it's watertight because this outer piece is gonna cover it up and we're never gonna see it again. So hopefully it doesn't leak. We'll find out once it's all together and we send water through it.
But I'm discouraged by some feeling. All places.
Well, it's a nice rainy day, but at least I can see where all the leaks are. So that's kind of helping out. Looks like we've got a few that we'll have to fix at some point. All right, the last thing we've got to do to both of these before we can test it out on the boat is at the very end here where the water comes out, we've got to block off this area and then just have a couple holes at the top and a little drain hole at the bottom.
Is it morning in LA?
That was fun jigsawing through stainless steel, but we got 2 of them made here. They look like a kindergartner drew the circles, but that's all right. They'll fit and work good enough for us, I think. That's the good part about being an amateur welder is you get really good at filling in these giant gaps. All right, boys, it's finally time to try this out. It's been almost 4 weeks working on this exhaust after work. I've got the water hose hooked up. I've got temporary hoses ran in the correct order. So it's gonna come from the hose. It's gonna go in the exhaust manifolds, come out of that. go into the engine, come out of the engine, and go into our risers that we just built, and then out the exhaust tips. So we're gonna see if we get any leaks. Let's see what happens. Okay, water on kink in hose. Open that up. Anything happening? Is water even flowing through this part? Maybe. Okay, nothing yet. Let's give her a little more. Oh, okay, it's coming through the risers. That's a good sign. Oh, we got water flowing. Okay, now we gotta check for leaks. Don't see anything yet. It's good. Oh, guess it's okay. Let's keep looking. I'm just gonna sit here and waste just a little bit of water just to listen to this for a while because it's been a long few weeks getting this thing done, so I'm a little excited. So here's what I learned on this one. I know now why all those exhausts are $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 because there's a lot of work that goes into it. I also learned that stainless steel is just a bit too much for the old cheapo home CNC router. You know, that's why people buy actual CNC machines. Totally understand that now. I also learned I'm just as terrible at welding stainless steel as aluminum or any other metal. So don't be afraid to try that yourself. We're saving $3,000 by doing it. It's not a professional job. We could never sell this stuff to anyone, but it's gonna be good enough for us, I think. Now, it's one thing to just run water through this sitting here, but we've got to get the engine actually running. And it could be that we get out onto the lake and the first time we hit the gas on this thing, the whole exhaust just blows apart and we sink the thing in the middle of the lake. But you're gonna have to stay tuned for that one. We've got to get the engine running first. Cody and JT will be over here next weekend, and we've got to get all these parts installed in the boat. So stay tuned for that. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me as always. We'll see y'all next time.